Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Grow to Glow Tarot. There could be something poking you in the chest. Not sure why. Right over the heart. Sorry. So this is what changes do you need to make for next year? What changes does Scorpio need to make for next year? Bottom of the deck, what's hidden from you or in your unconscious, we have the World, the Five of Swords, the Queen of Cups. Okay, self-love and unconditional love is going to help you overcome small losses. It's going to help you overcome defeats, envy, jealousy, yours or someone else's, narcissism, yours or someone else's, and it's going to help you accomplish the things that you want. If you practice unconditional self-love, set up your healthy routines, your self-love routines, your self-love habits, self-care habits. Start setting them up now. Okay, clarify the King of Wands for Scorpio and the changes they need to make for next year. Ooh. King of Wands, clarify the King of Wands. Okay, the Hermit. The Hermit is clarified by the Hermit. You got the Hermit twice. Virgo. The Raven. So, knowledge and memory. And Lovers. Also, any other clarification for the Hermit? The Moon. Okay, how about the Page of Wands? Boy, the cards are being shy for you, Scorpio. Okay, the Sun. Hold on. Um, um, I guess we'll continue. Okay. Sorry about that, Scorpio. I'm using the wrong deck, but I don't know which deck. Don't have that deck. Okay. Or maybe you're using the wrong deck. Clarify the sun for Scorpio, please. Clarify the High Priestess. So it didn't like any of my decks. It said that I was using the wrong deck to clarify the sun. That's why the cards were not as talkative. Clarify the High Priestess. So you could be using the wrong deck. And that could help lead you to a rebirth, or to a growth, or to a better ego understanding, because those are, about the sun. Clarify the High Priestess again for Scorpio. I don't know, it was asking for a deck, and it wasn't a deck that I own. You have a Yule deck, that's the one that you should be using for your growth. I don't know the Yule deck. Clarify the Eight of Swords for Scorpio. Definitely need to change that. Scorpios appear fierce, right? But doesn't mean you don't have fear and anxiety. Everybody has fear and anxiety. The Fool. I was just thinking of that with the Page of Wands, the Fool, King Wands, the Devil, and the Sun and the Star. So letting go of baggage, becoming a new person, becoming a new you, taking charge of your transformation to get away from whatever this devil energy is, whatever this negative, this darkness in your life. Deciding to get away from it, it brings you the sun and the star. It brings you the healing, the dream come true, that new beginning, that happiness, that growth and that birth. Okay, so King of Wands came out sideways in the reverse. Not following your dreams, not taking charge of your transforming your life, not taking charge of the changes that you need to make for next year. In the upright, you would be taking charge. You'd be transforming your life. You might even be an entrepreneur. You'd be following this vision for your life, but it came out sideways. So was it going to flip up or was it going to flip down? Okay, next year, you want to make sure it flips in the upright. Okay, because you're at risk for it flipping in the reverse. Other people controlling your life. Okay, Queen of Cups. Again, self-love, self-care routines, unconditional self-love. Even if you screwed up and, mess up on things, still practice self-love. Give yourself the breath, the time, the energy to learn from your mistakes. It's not, the end of the world. Okay? Ace of Cups, also about love. Sometimes maybe a new romance. Same with Queen of Cups. Maybe a new romance. But I'm reading it as this potential because this is about you. This potential to get what it is that you want, to get your vision that you have for your life in order. But if you're so focused on the mistakes that you're making, you're not going to learn from them. If you're focused on the negative, you're not going to learn from the positive. Four of Wands and King of Cups. So there is emotional instability, maybe even emotional manipulation going on, quarrels at home, quarrels at work, feeling like you're just not comfy in your own skin, like you don't belong in your community, in your work, in your home. You're going to have to change this. You're going to have to take charge. That king says you need to take charge again. You are in control of your life. There's no white knight going to come in and save you, baby. You are the white knight in your own life. Okay? You're the princess who's doomed in the castle and needs to be rescued by the knight, but you're also the knight. Okay? In case you didn't know that, you are also the knight who rescues you. Okay? So you're definitely needing to take charge. You want to transform your life? Start doing it. Don't be waiting. Okay? Don't be hanging around. Don't be sitting in that negative energy. Okay? Because the longer you sit in it, the more you start to believe it, and its delusional nature. Okay? The more you sit in that negative energy that I'm not good enough, I make mistakes, nobody could love me for who I am, etc. The more you start to believe in it, and the more it starts to become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes a catch-22. It starts propagating itself. So don't sit in it. We've got the Hermit and the Hermit. The Hermit clarifying itself. Okay, so they really want to hammer home the Hermit. Take time to go within, to find your own guiding light, not somebody else's guiding light. Find your own guiding light. Find your path for yourself. Look at the wolf. Lone wolf, but wolves also travel in packs. So there's this sort of dichotomy, this sort of like, okay, there's a lone wolf, but then there's wolf packs. And there's this sort of middle ground, and there's this path, and it's a lot like the moon card, where there's a wolf on one side, and there's a dog on the other side, and the dog is like the domesticated wolf, right? It's the loyal man's best friend, etc. Well, you're your own best friend, okay? Whether you're in a pack with a group of people, or you're by yourself, and you've traveled up this mountain, up these obstacles, in order to get a better picture, to get a better view of what's going on down here, what's going on in your life, your higher self, you need to be true to that. Okay, that's your pack. You are your own pack. You need to look at the path that is right for you, not the path that somebody else took, not the path that you daydreamed about or that you necessarily want to take. So this is about your inner guidance. It's about your enlightenment. Okay? What brings you that joy? What brings you into balance? You know, you need to forge a new beginning for yourself. Okay? And we've got the moon here, and this moon does not have the dog and the wolf, but it is about getting that clarity and finding. You can see the crab has to go through the middle ground. I mean, it's a card of Cancer, but its path is between the two cats, right? So you can see that this is all about getting clarification on where the middle ground is for you. And you could be starting, you know, you need to follow your instincts. You're expanding your knowledge. You could be starting like new job, new relationship that brings you a new lease on life, but you have this fear of it, okay? And you could be getting clarity on that. You need to make this decision that's right for you. This is all about, notice the sun is in this card also. This is all about you needing to make this decision towards yourself, towards your life, towards your vision for your life. I mean, look, you've got all these wands. King wands, the hermit, he holds a wand, right? You've got page of wands. You've got all these, the wands are about creativity, fire, spirituality, that spiritual fire within you that, you know, that spark of, oh, I love being alive. I'm excited to get up in the morning. I'm excited, you know, maybe not to get up in the morning, but maybe you're excited to go do something that you enjoy, some hobby that you kind of lost interest in. You kind of got like a little bit of dysthymia going on, you know, mild depression. And a lot of it is because you're not listening to yourself. You're not going within. You're not being true to yourself. You could be following somebody else's path. And this double hermit with the lovers and the moon, it's saying you need to make the choice. What are your values? What is your path? It may not be the path that other people want for you, or that other people, you know, that other people have chosen for you, right? Your path could be different. And that brings us to Page of Wands, sideways. Afraid, she's a free spirit, right? She is on her own. She's gone. She's got this joy to be. She's got this zest for life. She wants to study everything, okay? And when I say she or he, it's, don't take it as like, I mean, if we were referring to an exact person, maybe it would be a she, but the cards are just, you know, they're gender neutral. So this is all about your zest for life, all about your desire to learn new things, to study, to go out exploring and adventuring. And when she's in the reverse, it's about the opposite, giving in to self-limiting beliefs. Oh, I can't do that. I can't go to like a what are those paint and drink wine classes because my painting would suck. I would be embarrassed. I can't do that. No, no, no. Whereas if she were in the upright, you would be like, oh yeah, sure, let's go. Let's try that. Let's explore this. If I fail, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. The point is having fun and enjoying life and learning new skills and learning new things and expanding who I am in order to grow, which is also the Sun card here. So this Page of Wands, she came out sideways. Queen of Swords, setting boundaries on the way that you're thinking about things, or on the way that people have put boundaries on you in regards to your thinking and contributed to those self-limiting beliefs. You might need to, do some of your shadow work and put a boundary on it and say, okay, I was taught as a kid this, but that belief doesn't serve me as an adult. It doesn't serve me now in my life because it's keeping me from having fun. It's keeping me from growing as a person, expanding as a person. And yeah, we have Six of Cups here. So this is a card about the past. It can be a card about nostalgia or living too much in the past, but it's also a card about joy, right? Children, they don't need fancy gifts. They can play with, they're like an actual cat. They can play with, a piece of string tied to a branch that fell on the ground, and it's a fishing toy for a cat, and they'll play with the cat for hours, and be totally absorbed in it. They'll be in the zone. Time will stop for them, and they're perfectly fine with it. They're able to experience that joy of simply being in the moment. So this card is about, with the Page of Wands, it's about you learning to put aside all those negative thinkings, you learning to nurture your ability to think in a different way so that you can experience that again. So that you can experience that. And I saw 2222. Sorry for the long reading. It's about you learning to experience that joy again. That being able to be present in the moment. Ten of Swords and Eight of Wands. Learning to balance your actions, your creativity, your thinking. You want a fast change, but thought patterns don't change overnight. Okay? Actions don't change overnight. If they do, they're less likely to stick in the long term. Okay? It's like weight loss. If the more you lose, the quicker you lose it, the quicker you gain it back, right? And usually then some. So if you're losing, more than, like you lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks and you don't change your eating habits, it probably in another 2 weeks or 2 months, you're going to gain that 100 pounds right back and then some. So it's all about, you want to get a balance between what you're thinking of doing, between your actions, and the time frame that you're wanting to do it. So the end of this cycle where you've got negative thinking patterns, you've got self-limiting beliefs, it's better to do it gradually. Okay? Some things you can change right away, but it'll be better to go exploring in a more gradual way and just make it a habit over time. Okay? Expand over time rather than trying to expand all at once. I hope that made sense. Then we've got the Sun sideways, was facing towards the Page of Wands sideways. So the Sun, like I said, all about your rebirth, your growth, your new beginning, letting the darkness behind, coming out of the dark into the light. Four of Cups, Ten of Wands, and Page of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so the Sun, you were giving into those self-limiting beliefs. This was causing a lot of burdens. Maybe you were even daydreaming. a little too much. And that kind of stunted your growth because possibly you were, all talk and no action with this Four of Cups and the Page of Wands in the reverse. And now you're like, ooh, I'm going to speed ahead. No. Great for you to decide to move forwards. You speed ahead and the habit doesn't take. Okay. Like I said with the weight loss example. Much easier to change, okay, I'm going to start eating better at lunchtime, or I'm going to start eating better at breakfast. These are going to be my options, and I'm just going to focus on breakfast for now with my eating habits and losing weight. I'm just going to focus on breakfast time. And then, after months, it's a habit to eat a good breakfast. You start eating a good lunch. Then it becomes a habit. It's less tempting to eat crud at breakfast or lunch. You've lost weight. You've got momentum going. You stick with it. Okay. So, yeah, where this, getting clarity on where these self-limiting beliefs were and how they were affecting you, where they were burdening you, how maybe even daydreaming about how things should be or how you want them to be just a little too much, how that was actually creating burdens in your life and burdening you. Ten of Wands says you need to simplify things. Okay. Make it simple. Like the example for the weight loss, I'm using that because it's like a new year. And a lot of people are like, in the Gregorian calendar, it's the new year, January 1st, probably about the time this will come out. And a lot of people are like, oh, I want to diet. That's my New Year's resolution. So I'm using that as the running example. So Ten of Wands unburdening, people will have this fantasy about, I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to look like a certain celebrity or something. And that can also be a burden. That could be holding you back. Okay. Fantasies could be holding you back from making reality. If you're saying, oh, when I lose weight, I want to have like a perfect, waist of, I don't know, what's a perfect waist, 32 inches or something. That's probably on the small side. But you got a nice waist that's, 38 inches, and that's the norm, and you're able to keep your waist at 38 inches for 6 months, but here you are, you're sitting like, oh, it needs to be 32, it needs to be 32, and that creates a burden. So when you're looking at this transformation, the changes that you want to make and getting rid of these self-limiting beliefs, keep in mind that your expectations for, if your waist was like 50 something, and now you've gotten it to 38 and you've maintained it for 6 months, that's great. That's fabulous. That's a weight loss. But if you have this expectation, this self-limiting belief that it has to be 32, that's creating a burden. So keep in mind when you're starting this new goal, whether it's weight loss or anything else, that's just my example here, on how this could play out in the real world, right? So when you've got this goal and you've got this transformation you want to happen, keep in mind how those expectations can affect you and limit you. If you just say, oh, my goal is to be healthy, well, then going from a waist of like 50 something to 38, that's healthy, But if you're always saying, no, it has to be 32, it has to be a 32 weight, not healthy, and creating a burden. So getting clarity on this, okay, getting clarity on how you can create your goals safely to grow and expand as a person without creating these burdens, that's going to help you. Simplifying is going to help you. Like instead of saying that 32 waist, just saying a healthier waistline and maintaining it for a certain time period. That's really going to help ease the stress and the burden on you. And that's going to help you with that self-love and the self-care. Okay, so we've got the High Priestess. The High Priestess, she's in the doorway, just like the Two of Wands. The planning and the goals, she's in that doorway. She's between worlds. She's got the Book of Knowledge in front of her. This is all about using your intuition, using your knowledge, maybe taking a more spiritual approach for guidance in regards to these changes that you want to make, in regards to this transformation you want to have, because we've got, Six of Swords, Seven of Cups, Five of Wands, Five of Swords. So fives are about strife, but then we've got the Six and the Seven. So this, this is about, it's about somebody who, they're obviously attacking. So it can be about betrayal. It can be about envy and jealousy. Somebody attacking that envy and jealousy. Certainly, if you have envy and jealousy, you need to look at where that could be playing a part in holding you back. Everybody has, some people, they appear to have it together or have it all on the outside. And as a Scorpio, you should know that isn't true. Yeah, there are evolved signs, and there is the unevolved of each sign, or the dark, the repressed side of each sign. So this Five of Swords, where there's envy and jealousy, that's what you need to look at. Whether it's yours or somebody else's, it's holding you back. So that's where you need to use your intuition to make a decision to move forwards, to make a decision, because there is a delay here in this transformation. There's a delay in getting to a better place, mentally and emotionally, and getting to a better place in life. There's a delay here because of not understanding somebody's envy, not understanding somebody's jealousy, and how that affects their decision making. Whether it's yours or someone else's, there's a delay in moving to a better place. Like literally moving, or spiritually, mentally, emotionally moving to a better place. There's a delay because this envy and jealousy is clouding judgment. And you need to use spirituality. With the High Priestess and this Five of Wands, you need to use spirituality to overcome this. I mean, there's two fives, that makes a 10, that makes an ending of the cycle. If you can come up with, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so pink paw, purple and white paw, purple and white paw. So yeah, there could be 3 other people in this. You see the green, the purple, and the orange paw. There could be 3 other people involved in this. That are sort of affecting this situation through their influence. Yeah, they're affecting this situation through their influence. And the way for you to get the 6 of Swords, to get to a better place mentally and emotionally, the way for you to get there, I mean, you see she's got a cat sitting on the rock behind her, observing. The way for you to get to the better place is to go within, to get knowledge from within, from your higher self. Okay? To ask for guidance. To ask for guidance about this situation where there's envy and jealousy, this situation where there's possibilities, but the possibilities are just, too good to be true. Don't fall for like con men or anything that's too good to be true. Eight of Swords, quite explanatory. This is self-imprisonment by your thoughts, by your thinking. Negative fear and anxiety has to do with that Page of Wands and that Sun, and how you want to get away from that. You want to free yourself from this, from these fears, these anxieties. Temperance, 3 of Wands, Page of Swords, 7 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so temperance is all about getting this balance. It is about discernment too. It's about getting this balance in order to heal. It's like the Star card, and it's Aquarius. You need to heal. So there's like 2 different aspects of yourself that are like pushing or pulling. And you're sort of like, you're trying. So temperance is, you need to blend the different aspects of yourself, right, in order to get the healing and move forwards. But you're trying to figure out, well, which one should be dominant, and that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to balance them. The way to to free yourself is to get balance. Okay, to not let one or the other, to not let anger control you, but also don't let fear control you, or depression control you. So you have anger on the one hand, depression on the other. Don't let, either one of those control you. Yeah, there's this imbalance, and it's affecting your ability to see the path forwards. It's affecting your ability to see from different perspectives. It's affecting your ability to get what it is you want out of life, especially in the long term. It's affecting your skill set too. The things that you're good at, you need to focus on the things that you're good at. And just start. This 8 of Pentacles can talk about repetition. Mastering things through repetition. If that's where you lose yourself and you feel joy in life and you feel like you're in the zone and time stops, then you need to work on those skills. Okay? 7 of Swords. So this can talk about, obviously it's a dog and a cat a cat hat, right? It's a dog in a wolf in sheep's clothing. And trying to be quite deceptive. So we can be self-deceptive too. And a lot of that is she's wearing blindfold and she's trapped herself. She's bound herself with her thoughts. So the self-deception that's going on in regards to where your ships are going to come in regards to how you can be two separate things to two separate people or two separate things to yourself and still achieve your goals. This is that needs to end. Yeah, quit deceiving yourself. You just create more fear and anxiety. And you put yourself more out of balance, more out of tune with yourself. So if we were talking about like weight loss, for example, this Eight of Swords with all of this would be like kidding yourself into thinking because you do intermittent fasting, it's okay to eat like half a devil's food cake for dinner, because you're going to be fasting for like 10 hours or whatever. That would be this kind of self-deception instead of working on planning, a nice meal for when you're breaking your fast. Yeah, you're not going to lose weight even if you're intermittent fasting and you eat like half a devil's food cake. You're just not going to lose weight. You're not going to be healthy. Yeah, so that's just an example of this kind of self-deception. So there's some sort of self-deception going on that needs to be dealt with because that's increasing the fear and the anxiety. You need to focus on your skills that you're good at and focus on building those skills. And that's what's going to help with the fear and anxiety. Building your skills up. Practicing that self-love. Okay, I hope that made sense with or without example. Like I said, that's not necessarily what this is about. That's just me giving an example of how the cards play out in real life. For Scorpio, give me a card for Scorpio. Okay, Philosopher's Stone. And this is the card of Temperance or Alchemy. Philosopher's Stone. Oh, and we just, I love this movie. Some people don't know about it. Some people say it's just a horrible movie. I find it's a kind of fun little lark. Bruce Willis and Hudson Hawk. So yeah, Philosopher's Stone, and of course, it brings to mind Harry Potter, etc. Either the book or the movie. Not that I support, somebody who is, LGBTQ phobic. It's tough, but I do like the books still, and the actors who are not at fault. The studio is not at fault for the views of the writer, of course. So yeah, but Philosopher's Stone, that may trigger something for you. Powerful manifestation of wishes and goods by harnessing universal energy. That's what it says. I'll hold it up. I'll try and hold it a little steady so you can focus on it and meditate on it. Yeah, this is the Making Magic deck. For anybody wondering, that's what those cards come from. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful to you, Scorpio. Alchemy. I haven't read too many books on alchemy. I must say it hasn't been. Hermetics have been of interest, and it's a little hard to not read alchemy books per se, but Hermetics is more like the alchemy of the soul rather than, and yes, the soul living forever. I do believe the soul lives. So it's kind of like a catch-22 between all of it. Certainly not interested in turning lead into gold, though. But if you are, more power to you. I wish you the best. Okay, Scorpio, take care. I hope this was helpful. See you again. Bye.